All right. Welcome to the RCC podcast. Today I have Zero Day here on the line or video call anyway. And
Hey,
hey, and we're going to kind of discuss a couple things. I am going to say this is going to be a short stream, just to let everyone know because we did kind of catch Zero Day in a bad time. Scheduling mishap always happens, so we are going to kind of make this quick for everyone here. But let's go ahead and get started with where'd you get your start?
where I got my start. Unlike most people nowadays, there wasn't the resources that are available now. Almost 17 years ago. So my start was ironically with instant messenger platforms and forums and stuff like that. And on those platforms, it was, I would say, mostly black hat. There wasn't a quote unquote cybersecurity field. It was really just black hat hackers. And I don't remember clearly or not, but I think that there was no white hat, gray hat, black hat term at that time. So I just joined a ton of these communities, and I was very interested in software. I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a developer or a hacker. I wasn't sure if I even wanted to be an IT technician repairing computers. But I guess just being a part of these communities for years and adapting and growing with the industry, it got me started and got my foot in the business as well as the industry and community.
That actually, I think a lot of people have that start where it's not really directly cyber, but it's more adjacent or tangential, and then suddenly the two paths converge, right?
Absolutely, and with that, at that time there wasn't websites that I could go reference, a common exploit or methodologies for recon or enumeration. There wasn't anything like that. So you would go open up your instant messenger or open up your favorite forum and just hope that somebody had some information about something new, and if not, there was private chats, and sometimes you'd be let in on some information that wasn't anywhere on the internet. So I guess there was a lot more zero days back then than there is now.
Right, because there's not a standardized and widespread threat insight that has now been
Right.
shared across multiple companies.
Absolutely.
I don't even think exploit database existed then, if I recall correctly.
Oh no, it did not. No, there was no exploit DB. There was Metasploit, but it was completely different back then. It just was a different platform completely. AOL Instant Messenger and MySpace and DigitalGangster.com, Warrior forums. I mean,
I've heard of two of those, so
yeah, that was my sources of information back then.
yeah, that totally makes sense. So where are you now in your journey, I guess?
In my journey right now, as some of you know, I owned a bunch of healthcare facilities across the country, and I sold those about almost 9 months ago now. I got myself into the cybersecurity industry and started a cybersecurity company. It's in the early stages, so that part on the business end isn't completely fulfilled yet. As
Right.
a as like a bug hunter slash CTF player, I feel I've established myself in those communities, um, and I think I don't think that this almost 17 years of knowledge has attributed to my CTF knowledge, but I think it helps with the researching and the ability to understand new technologies and exploitation.
I mean, looking at Try Hack Me, which is where I actually met you specifically, you
Yeah.
are a force to be reckoned with. You are top of the leaderboards for how long now? 6 months
Uh,
almost?
yeah, I think I've been number one for about 6 months and number two for about I don't know, maybe a year. So I'm number one now consistently, and I have a pretty good lead right now. But I didn't think that in the beginning with CTFs that I was going to be competitively, trying to stay on the top of a leaderboard. But it just ended up happening that way. And now that I got there, I feel like I have to maintain it, and it's a lot of work. It's when you're busy and you don't have time to even hang out with people for the most part, and then 3+ challenges coming out a week, and you have to start as soon as they come out.
Otherwise, you don't
Sometimes
get
it
the
can be
blood.
difficult. Yeah. And those blood points are the factor that will keep you in that first position or not.
I might be coming for your title. Very careful.
Well, hey, anybody can compete. And what I tell everybody when they ask, how do I solve rooms so fast? Um, Sometimes it's not fast. Sometimes I just start when they're released and there hasn't been an announcement yet in the Discord. So you have to know that at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday that there's going to be a challenge released.
Right. So pivoting over to Discord, you are currently a moderator there, right? In the Try Hack Me
Yes.
Discord.
Yeah. So I became a moderator on the Triacme Discord after becoming a community mentor. In the beginning, I was helping a ton of people. They were having problems with challenges or having problems with walkthroughs, and I would help them out. So they decided to give me a community mentor status.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, so when I got that, I was super excited. I was like, wow, this is awesome. There's a community of people that want to simulate hacking environments and they want to learn. And I noticed in this community, there was a ton of people that didn't have a lot of experience, but were very eager to learn. So that really interested me. I think I have something in me. Like I said, I own healthcare businesses. I like helping people overall. So that was attractive to me, and I just helped as many people as I could. They decided to give me community mentor. I became close with the owners and the administrators and other moderators, and eventually they offered me a moderator position on the Discord. It's not paid or anything, but it's an honor and a privilege, obviously, to have that
Yeah,
ability.
that's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
I
So
also checked your profile recently. It looks like you made 3 different rooms so far. Do you plan to make it more?
Yeah, so I saw in the photo that you sent, Remux the T-Mux is a collaboration, but I really didn't collaborate much on that. It just happens to be, for some reason my name was attached to it. The Impossible Challenge was the first room that I made, which I
That
thought
one
was
is
a cool
evil.
way. Yeah, it's very evil, but it's I wanted to kind of make a combination between steganography, ciphery, guessy, but also practical use, because in the real world you could use that technique that if you guys haven't tried the Impossible Room, just try it. Can't figure it out, there's write-ups. You can use that in the real world, and there's many purposes, ethically or not ethically, but always
Without
do
spoiling
everything
the
right.
surprise, you can kind of use that to also get data through a text record that way.
Oh, absolutely. So you could do it that way, or you could register users on platforms that already exist. So if I wanted to register admin on a website, clearly you can't register admin. You would just add a non-space joiner after it. It wouldn't add any length whatsoever to the username, but it may trick the database into believing you are the administrator, or bare minimum trick the users into believing you're an admin when you send them a message.
There goes your social engineering right there. That actually brings a pretty good pivot over to we were going to talk about recon techniques.
Yeah.
Techniques.
Yeah. So I can give you so there's so much that goes into recon and enumeration that I can go over the basics. I mean, the basics are going to be directory brute forcing. That's going to be one. And then there's going to be, fuzzing API endpoints. I'd recommend everybody, if you don't have SecList installed, install it. Everybody will tell you to use GoBuster for dir busting. I'd recommend Ferox Buster. It's FEROX Buster.
I'll put it in the description. Don't worry.
Oh, it's ridiculously fast. It has a ton of options, and they will be implementing a fuzz option soon, which means you can pick the parameter that you're fuzzing, and multiple word list support. So that's nice. Really good for directories. As for fuzzing, and this goes towards bug bounties, because I know you wanted to talk about that a bit. Remember, so if there's 10,000 hackers, right, all working on the same projects, whether they're private or they're not private, they're all hitting it with the same, directory list 2.3 medium, or they're hitting it with, whatever directories come default on Kali. They're not making custom subdomain lists or SecList DNS subdomain top 10,000 or 11,000, whatever it is. The way that I recommend that you fuzz directories or subdomains or parameters is use a tool called Commons. It's called Common Speak. Um, Common Speak it uses Google's BigQuery, and it will take terms that are relevant to today's technology standard. In the layman's way, I can explain that, and it will generate a word list for you that is completely unique every single time, and you'll discover things that other people haven't found. There's only so many ways you can look up a subdomain in transparency logs or just looking around through Google with Google dorking. But if you're doing a subdomain brute force or fuzzing parameters with a custom word list, that's not just based off the website, but based off of things that are happening in the world right now in regards to technology, you have a way bigger advantage, and you have a unique aspect to the recon phase of detection. The exploitation is a whole different conversation, and that I don't know how I can even explain that to you, because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you have to be able to. You're going to need to have some experience in order to actually execute the exploit. You might be able to fuzz using automated tools, but if you don't know the core concepts behind exploitation, then you're going to have a hard time gaining a foothold, if you will.
Oh, absolutely, and I want to let everyone else know, because I'm assuming most people are CTF players. If you're going to get into bug hunting, don't expect to find remote code execution or LFIs or RCEs, anything that you would see in a CTF. Don't expect to find that in every bug bounty. A lot of times you're going to find XSS, you're going to find CSRF, IDORs, the low-hanging fruit type of things, information disclosure. That's the information that you're going to be most likely finding. And what's it called? It's just a misconception that I think CTFs give people, that you're always going to find remote code execution, and the goal is always to get a shell on someone's server. And unfortunately, it's just not likely that it's going to happen on a lot of these projects that you'll be.
I mean, if you do get a shell, then it's game over.
You're making a ton of money.
Yeah, you're going to be making bank if you manage to get RCE followed by a shell. It's game over for whoever's connected to that server.
100%. If you have a shell on Uber.com, you better get ready to file some taxes.
Oh man, but yeah, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people, and myself included, full disclosure, I always thought that bug bounty would have been getting those RCEs, getting those LFIs, RFIs. If you can gain that foothold, then forget even worrying about, just spraying credentials. Once you have that RCE, it's game over for whoever's involved, but that's going to be incredibly rare.
Oh, very rare. Yeah, there's some reports out there where it's a collaboration of publicly disclosed HackerOne reports.
Right.
And if you just look through them and look for RCE, look for remote file inclusion, look for that command injection, just all the terms that you would try to find RCE. It's very limited.
Yeah, you're not going to find it. I mean, if you do, then awesome. But that means that someone really screwed up.
Oh yeah, and it is possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying a lot of people go in there looking to try to find it, and then they give up because they don't find anything. Try to go for the OWASP top 10, and use custom word lists. Custom word lists is going to make the difference. I promise you that.
I mean, they're top 10 for a reason. That's because they come up so often.
That's exactly right. I don't know much more to say about bug hunting because it's really an open world of possibilities.
Absolutely.
But my DMs are always open for everybody. I'm not one of those people that just ignore you if you message me. If you message me, I'll answer to the best of my ability. It might not be immediately, but I will get to anybody. And I'll just tell you, my Discord is 0 day, and then the pound symbol 1337. I
would not be surprised if you found a 0 day on 0 day or on Discord.
I did.
Really?
Discord actually. Yeah, I found 11. Or no. I'm sorry. I found 11 vulnerabilities and try hack me. I got confused there. But I found a ton. I have a whole folder full of exploits for Discord. but specifically 2 of them I disclosed to Discord. They never answered. I responsibly disclosed it. I didn't abuse it. I sent them emails, giving them a full POC.
Right.
I did everything I
Proof
was
of
supposed to
concept.
do. Discord did not even give me the courtesy of a response, not even a thank you or we're investigating this, nothing. They just patched the issues, both of them, and never rewarded me with anything. All I wanted was a little bug hunter icon on my profile. I didn't even care about the money.
Right.
But they never even replied to me, so I just decided to release both of them on GitHub, and now they're there.
I mean, I'm surprised that they responded. They act like they're very, focused on the openness of community. You'd think that they'd be the first one to respond. Hey, thank you
Right.
for bringing this up. Right.
Exactly. They didn't even answer my emails both times. So I figured, why not? You know what? Publicly disclose it now that you've patched it. It's not a coincidence that they patched something twice.
Yeah.
They just ignored me, which is not cool in my opinion.
So here's a question for you then. I know we're getting down to the wire here because you're probably getting a bit bored of scraping the yard, right?
Oh no, it's all right. I have to go in a second because, like I said, I feel bad. My whole family's here, and I'm at the golf course. I didn't even expect this meeting, but it was my fault. I completely forgot to look at my calendar. So,
well, we can always have a part 2 later on. But I do want to ask one last question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If someone wanted to start getting into cyber and just in general, what is the one tip that you would give them that's going to help them throughout their career?
Well, I have 2. So the one's going to be very basic but super important. Don't give up. It's super easy to just say screw this and give up. And then if you get to, I'll take CTFs as an example. Go on, try Hack Me if you're getting into this industry or into this community. Try to solve the rooms, go through the walkthroughs, try a challenge without using the write-up. If you happen to do the write-up, if you use the write-up, make sure you understand every single piece of what you're reading, or you're just wasting your time. So I'd recommend don't give up. And the other thing I'd recommend is to try to create your own challenges. If an exploit's released, for example, let's say a very popular one that was released recently, Zero Logon. There's a room for that on Try Hack Me, but I'm sure 90% of you know how to exploit it. You know how to download the POC up from GitHub. You know exactly what you're doing. But if I asked you to set up an Active Directory server that's vulnerable to it, I bet you 80% of you don't know how to do that. So sometimes
included.
you have to, right. So my recommendation is when think of things forwards and backwards, because if you think both ways, sometimes it's easier to find vulnerabilities.
Well, thank you very much for that. I will go ahead and I'm going to send you another calendar link. You'd let me know what your schedule is.
So oh yeah, for sure. The next time I'll be sitting in a chair in a house, and it'll be a little bit. I'll be a lot more prepared.
Yeah, I should have probably prodded you about a week beforehand. I'm sorry.
That was my fault. It's completely my fault, and I'm very sorry for that.
No problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and close up shop here. It's been awesome having you here. I can't wait to have the part 2. I'll go ahead and let everyone know about that. Thank you again for coming on the RCC podcast, and I hope to see you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. See you later,
You too. Later.